Hey, Raul here for Bass Musician Magazine. Earlier this year, I had the great fortune of being in on a Zoom call with the nice people at Fender Guitars where they were presenting their Player Plus series. And today, I'm very fortunate to have in my hands one of the Fender Player Plus jazz basses. This particular model is made in Mexico. We're going to take a close look at it and get all the details. Let's take a closer look at the Fender Player Plus jazz bass. This model is the Olympic Pearl, but it also comes in aged candy apple red, 3-color Sunburst, and Belair blue. When you look at this finish, it has a lovely iridescent quality to it, so it reflects back the light and kind of will give you different hues depending on what lighting you're in. They made a very nice choice doing kind of an imitation tortoiseshell pick guard. When we look further up and you look at the neck itself, it is a maple fingerboard. And these look kind of like a bronzish frets. You've got 20 of them, and it's a 34-inch scale. It is a C-shaped neck with a 12-inch radius and is a lovely satiny smooth portion with rolled edges. So this is a joy to have your left hand running along to be able to play. When we look at the hardware, you've got the iconic chrome silver tuning keys. We've got a HiMass bridge, and that's going to give you better sustain, resonance, and intonation. It's got 4 saddles on that bridge, and you'll find the chrome continued in the panel that is under the knobs. Since we're talking about the controls, this is an active bass. You've got a 3-band EQ with a little mini toggle to take it from active to passive. The way they're set up, starting closest to the strings, you've got your volume control. The next one is the dynamic control for the pickups. Then the stacked knobs, the treble is the little one on top, the bass is on the bottom, and your mids is that final knob that's farthest from you. Other important things about this, it's an 18-volt system. And you have the access, the battery box is on the back. They did a very clever setup there, so they're easy to get at if you need to change your batteries. In order to get a signal to that 3-band EQ, Fender has put in Player Plus Noiseless jazz pickups. The idea behind these are specifically made for the Player Plus series, and they're designed to give you additional clarity and growl and kind of that classic Fender tone. When we flip the bass over, we can see how nicely contoured and finished it is. You see at the base of the neck that metal plate, and as we look at the headstock, you can see the classic iconic Fender tuners and what a very clean and beautiful setup this whole instrument has. Lastly, I do like the position of that 1/4-inch plug. Is perfect for straight instrument cables, my preference when it comes to instrument cables. So it is definitely in a spot and done in a way that I like. This bass weighs in at about 10 pounds. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the sound chain we're going to be using. The first thing you notice, I've got Groove Gear strap helping me hold this bass in place. Sound-wise, we're going to go out with an Astrope cable straight into my DNA amplification head and amp. It's important when I'm doing this, I'm going to try the controls, kind of noodling around with those to give you an idea how they change the sound particularly, and I want you to imagine how this bass would sound in your hands. So the kind of music that you play, I'm kind of giving you the color palette, but you're going to have to paint the picture with it. So let's check this out. Okay, let's talk about our findings with the Fender Player Plus Jazz Bass. To start out with, the neck feels amazing. The way it's so nicely finished with the round edges, nice and fast. This feels great to play. Really enjoyed that. Next, I like the HiMass bridge. The sustain and the resonance on this is really superb. As we look at the EQ and the controls, I didn't take it all the way up to the maximum volume. That was what was comfortable for me. With the pickup settings, I like to set it in between the two, both the bridge and the neck pickup. But if you want to alter the sound, you may kick it back more to the bridge or more towards the neck, depending to your needs. With the EQ itself, the way I liked it, I like the bass up high. I dropped the treble down to pretty much nothing, and I boosted the mids. And that was kind of the combination that I liked how that sounded. But depending again on what you're playing, you can alter that. That's the beauty of an EQ. You've got a huge variety of possibilities. With the active and passive switch, the volume dropped. If you are using a pedal system or preamps or anything like that, you want to go passive, that's fine. I like active, and I liked pretty much the way it sounded more with the active pickups engaged. Body-wise, comfort-wise, it's a very comfortable instrument, but I always tell people, if you're seriously considering getting one of these basses, make sure you try it yourself so you can see how it feels in your hands. Don't take just my word for it. Hear how it sounds for you with your amplifier, because you may not have a nice DNA amp like I've got right here, and you want to make sure that it meets your particular needs. One additional thing I'm going to say is this bass does come with a gig bag, and kind of an important feature about the gig bag, they've made the shoulder straps so that they're detachable. Now that's kind of a good or maybe an inconvenient thing, because it's nice if you didn't really want them there. You can just take them off and you can carry your gig bag kind of like a briefcase. If you're going to be using the straps, those detachable buckles will dig in a little into your shoulders. So a simple solution, you can get pads that will fit over these straps. I think they use them for backpacks, for baby carriers and things like that. I'm sure you can find them on Amazon or something. If you added in that cushion padding, this gig bag would work perfectly for you. But just have that in mind, that if you're going to be lugging it on your shoulders, you're going to notice those metal buckles right on the top of your shoulders up here on the bones. So that said, the Fender Player Plus Jazz Bass, great bass. Give it a whirl. Check it out for yourself. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. If you want more information, go to fender.com. And this has been Raul for Bass Musician Magazine, bringing you the latest in the world of bass.